I'll be right with you guys. Be right with you. Broadcasting to Facebook now. And should be live. Should be going live on Facebook. Hey everybody. Welcome to today's video. Third video of the day. I hope you're doing well. Sami Abusaad here with the Strategic Swing Trader. I am going to get started by showing you some of the items that I like for next week. Swing. But before I do that, I have to share with you the standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only, not to be construed as investment advice. Okay, here we go. Market dropping a lot. We don't have a bottom yet in the market. I did a whole separate video on how to predict or how to pick the bottom basically. And basically, just so you know, what the gist of it is that I said you have to get a wide range bar. You have to get some acceleration before we can say that the market has bottomed. We are in the right area on the monthly. If we go to the monthly chart of the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100 basically. This is a tracking ETF for it. Of course, you can use the SPY, same picture, same exact picture, so it doesn't matter. We're at the rising 20. Most of the time the 20 holds, but once it breaks, as it did here, pull back to the now broken 20 are very likely. That's what I teach in all my classes, that once the moving average breaks, then you usually get, so breaks, you usually get another pullback. If it holds, you don't get another pullback to the 20, but if it breaks it the first time, you usually get another break. Broke it here, now we're probably going to break it too. So I'm looking for a market bottom for sure. We're in the right area, but I think we don't stop right here. I think we actually break under it by a little bit before we go back up. In order to pinpoint the exact day, the exact point when the market might be bottoming, you gotta wait for some acceleration on the daily chart. So if we were to switch back to the daily, that's the daily time frame. We gotta get some acceleration, some wide range bars, like we got here back at the end of last year at Christmas, right? We had that vertical drop like a waterfall. You just go bam, vertical. Then it's easy to pick the bottom. It's very easy. But without any acceleration, then I wouldn't try and pick the bottom. I would like to get back in market. I got out on March 21st. The Qs, here it is. Right here is where I got out. And because I thought this was the top. We got the acceleration to the upside, but only one bar. I thought this was the top. Got out. Market came in and went right back up, left me behind. But now we're way below. We're about $10 below where I got out. So I'm feeling pretty good. But I'd like to get back in if we can get some acceleration. So I didn't mean to really rehash my what I just said in the other video about the market, but oh well, it happened. Let me switch back to the hourly chart. I use the hourly time frame for perfecting my entries, for locating entries to my swing trades. To the right here, you see a watch list of things that I'm looking to play long next week. Let me show you this AWI. Amazing. Look at this. Stayed at the all-time high while the market crashed. This is amazing. So I'm looking to play it long over the base with a stop under the base. Okay, very simple. DG had reported earnings, had an earnings gap, and then now has a 1, 2, 3. Better than the DG. It's at all-time highs, by the way, so it does look good long term. Better than the DG is the VIV. Same exact setup on the day, same exact 1, 2, 3. But excuse me, this was a better gap, and this is a tighter, a narrower bar, a narrow range bar. So I like the VIV and the DG are the same exact setup, but I like the VIV more. GTXI, this is kind of a gamble. I don't usually do these because oftentimes they last one day or so. Sometimes they last for a few days. ELTK we saw a couple days ago lasted 2 days basically. But I mean, one hell of a rally, right? From $1.50 it went to 13 to 11.50 in 2 days basically, and 500% gain in 2 days. Amazing. So I don't know if this is going to be the next one, but it's interesting. Okay, GTXI as a long. QCOM fell from grace, was really bullish, fell really hard, and the hourly chart is showing signs of a transition. So the entry would be right here, stop right here, okay, under Friday's low, and the entry would be above it basically. All right, next one on the list is SE. Had a tier 1 gap also. Well, it was a little oversized, so VIV, the gap on VIV was actually better. I was in this along with the strategic swing traders as an earnings play. Okay, this was a nice one. I don't know if I have a picture for you of my P&L that day, but it made a good amount of money. Let's see, what day was it? I don't want to waste your time, so I'll be real quick. 522. Boy. Oh yeah, 522. I do have it. Haha, I do have it. Look at that. I thought I wasn't gonna have it. See this? SE. 5K. No, 5.6. That's SE for you. As an earnings play, it worked. Most everything worked that day. I guess MNK was down, but anyways, so it was a pretty good gap, and now I'm looking to get back in it as a long over this bar's high, 29.13. Not this bar's high, the previous bar's high. So I like it as a long. VIV we already talked about. XON has what I call a transition A play. Transition A means, we have this 4-stage cycle that every stock goes through. When the stock transitions from being a sideways base to an uptrend, we call that transition A. So that's A, B right here, C, and D. Okay. Now every stock goes through the cycle. It's more prominent on some stocks than it is on other stocks. So you can see it here on the monthly chart. Now on the monthly, it's still in a stage 4, but on the daily, it's trying to bounce back up to $6. No, on the weekly, it's $6. On the monthly, it actually has room to like $10. But I'm not looking for a target off the monthly. I'm looking for a target on the weekly up here. So this is not going to be a huge winner, but I like it. Here are some utilities for next week. WEC has a buy setup. I'm not a fan of playing utilities. I don't know why I'm not. Look at this. A rocket. Look at this. I mean, just unreal. And yet I'm not a fan of playing utilities. SRE. Beautiful. This is the monthly chart. Bullish as it gets. AEP. A rocket. But I don't love trading utilities for some reason. They all have buy setups. I selected 3. I think these are the top 3 utility stocks for next week. Okay? Of the 3, SRE is my favorite. Okay? And then a couple of long-term ideas into it. Deep pullback, so it's not ready to go back up, but it has a weekly buy setup. A weekly retest. Again, it's not ready. And what if it continues lower here? Then no good. I wouldn't even watch it after that, right? But if it holds up here, goes back up, then I'll do the next buy setup into it. Okay? I don't know if you're into it, but I'm into it. Kidding with you. Marvel has a weekly buy setup, so that's good. If we look at the daily, still in a downtrend. So I'd like to see the Marvel maybe come in a little bit with the market and then set up and then go back up to set up a W pattern. That would be a W pattern. Long right here, stop right here, wherever it stops at. So these are a couple of long-term ideas for you. The short, let me show you. I have CTSH on a sell setup. I like it short under the hourly base. This is actually one of the plays that I selected for the strategic swing traders. So if you're in this, if you're a subscriber, log into your account, you'll see my numbers on it. I'm going to be playing it if it triggers on Monday. I'm actually going to be in Chicago teaching a class in person, a mentorship class in Chicago, but I'll also be trading as well. So short right here, stop right here on the CTSH. KTOS on fire, so this kind of scares me to, a little bit questionable to short it because it's really, really strong. On the hourly chart, rolling over, appears to be. Short, stop, off the hourly chart, KTOS. KZR is too thin to talk about, but you can see what's happening. It's a breakdown on the hourly chart. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the daily, short, stop, right? Better than the KZR or much more liquid is the NIHD. It's a low price stock, but look, I don't care about the price of the stock. All I care about is the pattern. In $1.90, if it drops to $1 or $1.95, it'll be 100%, 50% gain. So it does really, the price of stock does not matter. And if $100 stock drops to 50, that would only be also a 50% gain. So I like it under the lows. Stop right here. And then pins, I did this also as an earnings play this day, but I'm out already, and it definitely looks lower. This is Pinterest. Looks, oh my god, looks horrible. So it looks bearish, short, stop, big stop, but I think this is a long-term hold. PINS. I guess I forgot to talk about the cryptocurrency market. I'm almost out of time here, but look, Bitcoin remains very, very bullish. I'm going to try to show you Bitcoin here real quick. Bitcoin remains very, very bullish. It had a breakout failure on the daily chart, and yet nothing phases it. I mean, it just ignores it. Next day, which was yesterday, it printed a big green bar. So even though it had a breakout failure, this was definitely a breakout failure. Let me show you. Broke out and then failed, right, under the base, and yet again just doesn't care. As long as it's above that rising 20 on the daily chart, this is the daily time frame for Bitcoin, as long as it remains above it, I would buy every dip on Bitcoin, as long as it's above it. Every time it retests the 20, it's a buy. Buy. Every single time. On any dip, buy. Okay? Dip, doesn't matter how it forms. Bearish, this was bearish, but it worked. To tell you the truth, I scalped it. I didn't buy it to hold, but I did scalp it. I bought it at 2 orders. One at 8,000, one at 8,058 is where I got filled. So this was nice. But I didn't do it as a long-term play, so this was just kind of a scalp. That's why I always like to keep money in my GDAX account and Bittrex. Bittrex is more for the altcoins, but GDAX, or it's called now Pro Coinbase, is more for the main markets like the Bitcoin, XRP, which is Ripple, Ether, ETH, and LTC, which is Litecoin, and number 5 is Bitcoin Cash, BCH. But again, as long as it remains above the 20, I would be all out bullish on Bitcoin. We did talk about Bitcoin in last week's lesson video. We said next target is 9,500. I think it almost reached it. It got to 9,100, but that was the target from last week. This pivot, I think. No, not this pivot. This pivot. This pivot almost got to it, and then the next one after that is about 11,000 bucks. So those are the next two areas. It's extremely extended on the daily chart, but on the weekly chart, that's the weekly. See here, W, weekly. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't pay much attention to this. I'd use it for target picking, because if you look at the daily, you can't see the target. There's nothing to the left, right? It's making a multi-year high, basically. So you'd have to look, or multi-month high, I should say. So I'd look at the weekly for target picking to pick the right targets, but I would look at the daily to stay with the trend. And as long as it's above that 20 period moving average, I would stick with it. So if you're in it already, remember, I've been doing these videos, weekly videos, since March. No, I've been doing them a lot longer, but since March 10th, I've been bullish on Bitcoin. And I've been saying in every video, in the description, if you read the videos that I do, in every video, I say that Bitcoin is where the best opportunity lies in 2019. And you can go back to March 10th when I got bullish on Bitcoin. Okay? So this is April 11th. Anyways, check out the playlist on Facebook or the playlist on YouTube if you're tuning in from YouTube for more information on Bitcoin. But for now, I just want to say if it stays above the 20, I would put my stop right here, just under the 20. It makes new highs, wait for the retest. I'd look to buy more. Goes up, raise the stop. Goes up, raise the stop. Does that make sense? Just keep raising the stop as long as it's on the other side of the 20 period moving average. Okay? All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. For more information, or if you want to trade with me, Bitcoin and other stocks like this list. For example, I already picked, how many did I pick for the swing? I picked 4 for Monday. Between the shorts and the longs, I picked 4 plays for the subscribers and myself as well. Whatever I call, I play in my own swing account. So if you'd like to join me, be sure to check out the description where I dropped a couple of links in the description of the video. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and happy trading. Take care, everybody.